Can too much love become a child's biggest source of stress? It sounds impossible. After all, every parent wants the best for their child. But what if the very actions taken out of love slowly become the reason behind a child's anxiety? Let me share a true story from my counseling practice. Of course, the real names are changed as a matter of professional ethics. Tushar was the only child of his parents. He was born after years of waiting, at a time when his parents had almost given up hope of having a baby. Naturally, he became the center of their universe. His parents were well educated, belonged to a middle-class family, and had only one dream: to give their son the best possible life. They loved him unconditionally. Yet they had one concern. Tushar was extremely emotional. The smallest disappointment would make him cry. A minor criticism would upset him. They couldn't understand why. Everything else about him was wonderful. That is when they approached me. I first spent time with the parents. Then I decided to meet Tushar. He was around 12 years old. Quiet. Reserved. Not the kind of child who would open up to a stranger. So I requested his mother to introduce me as her old school friend instead of a counselor. I even took my own children along because they were almost his age. That changed everything. Instead of an interview, it became an afternoon of games, laughter and conversations. Slowly, Tushar opened up. And then I discovered something fascinating. Everything his parents called care, Tushar experienced as control. Everything they called protection, he experienced as interference. Why? Because none of his friends' parents behaved that way. His parents constantly checked on him, worried about him, and rarely allowed him the independence his friends enjoyed. This gave me an idea. I organized a play date. Not just for Tushar. For all his friends. Initially, Tushar's parents were uncomfortable. They had never allowed him to spend an entire day with friends. But since my own children were going too, they finally agreed. While the children spent the day laughing, playing and enjoying themselves, I quietly observed the parents. The difference was unbelievable. The other parents relaxed, chatted and enjoyed their own time. But after barely 2 hours, Tushar's parents became visibly restless. Should we call him? Has he eaten? What if he gets hurt? What if? Their attention never left Tushar. Even the other parents gently smiled and said, "Relax, he'll be absolutely fine." That was my answer. The problem wasn't Tushar. The problem was the invisible anxiety surrounding him every single day. Children don't just listen to parents. They absorb them. When parents constantly communicate fear, children slowly begin believing that the world is unsafe, that they are incapable, and that someone must always protect them. The good news? Once we understood this pattern, we worked together. Not on changing Tushar, but on changing the environment around him. Today, almost 20 years later, Tushar is a confident and successful sportsman. His parents are proud of him. And I'm grateful they were willing to learn. So here's a question for every parent. Are you protecting your child? Or are you unknowingly protecting them from becoming strong? Sometimes the greatest gift we can give our children isn't more protection. It's more trust. Because children don't become confident when we hold them tightly. They become confident when we gradually let go. If this story made you think, share it with another parent. It might change a child's future. So, I would certainly insist that all parents must keep in mind that children don't become confident because parents protect them. They become confident because parents gradually teach them that they can protect themselves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, share it to your loved ones, and subscribe the channel. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing. And remember, a healthy mind stays in a healthy and stress-free body. Living in a healthy and stress-free surroundings. Let's work to create the same around us.